Hi, hi, this is Dee from Dee's Farm Treats. I was just sitting here. I have been doing these pop up bakeries every weekend where I make a ton of bread and I try to share it with the world. I love making bread and I love making canned goods and I love making people happy. It's like my perfect retirement. Um, I'm going to be at the Alberta Heritage Museum next Saturday for the market, and it's going to be a great event, and everybody should come out and join us at Alberta, Alabama, at the Heritage Museum, and come try some wonderful local treats and shop local. It's always great to shop local. I'm going to be introducing some videos. I do a lot of prepping. I believe in growing my own garden and making my own breads and eating foods out of my own kitchen. I can. And when I freeze, I don't do like one meal, I do like six. That way I'm spending less on groceries in the long run and I have food that's ready so I don't always have to go out and deal with the high prices of the groceries. This week I'll be doing a 20-quart roaster pot of chicken stock because chicken stock is an amazing thing. It's amazing to drink, gives you your collagen and vitamins and everything, and it makes things taste better. Like if you make your pasta in chicken broth instead of water, you add a whole new flavor depth to your food. I don't make one or two breakfast burritos. I make 40 or 50. It's just what I've always done. And I'm going to share it with everybody. I know I'm new at these videos, and sometimes they can be a little messy. I'm learning. I am. But I think each time I do one, I get just a little bit better. Just a little. Last night I did 44 loaves of sourdough. I did chocolate and jalapeno cheddar and bacon cheddar. I did some garlic and herb. I did some blueberry, and I'm thinking about doing some lemon blueberry for next week's event. Um, I just love doing things. And I keep getting told I should get on here and let people get to know me better. Well, I'm just me. I'm a retired woman. I live in southern Alabama by the Gulf Coast. And I just believe in a simple life. Um, I don't know what else to say to that other than I'm just happy to be making these videos and getting to know things and learning new things. Life's an adventure. I believe everything is an adventure. I like doing big batch cooking. I love canning jam. And Tuesday, I'm going to can something called swamp soup. And I think I'm going to videotape it because it's a really healthy, hearty soup made from connected sausage, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken stock, and turnip greens. And it's a local favorite down here where I live. But it's also, above all, healthy. I used to weigh over 600 pounds. Today I weigh 195 pounds. And it's because I changed my whole lifestyle and way of thinking. And I went through all the things that other people did. You know, in 2014, I had a gastric bypass and lost a bunch of weight and then gained it all back. Because unless you change your life and your lifestyle, it's not going to stay off. I had to give up the soda and all the unhealthy stuff. Today, my favorite drink is lemon with water with lemon, but usually it's the other way around. I really love my lemons. And coffee. I love my coffee in the mornings. Instead of sugar, I put my local honey in it because it helps with the allergies and it's healthier for me. Some time ago, I switched over to all sourdough bread. I do still make the regular bread, and I make all the regular stuff for everybody else to eat. I just don't eat it. I like the new me. I want to live longer and live healthier and actually live life. You know, a friend once told me there's a difference between existing and living. I used to exist. I really did. There are people in my life that can tell you that I used to be in a power chair, I used to be on oxygen, and I relied on my husband for everything. And, I lost my husband almost 8 years ago. And he had battled with cancer. And I woke up and I had to learn to do it all on my own. And I got stronger and I made my way through it. And I made my way through it in a healthy manner. And nowadays, it doesn't matter, you know, what I have or don't have. The people in my life and my life matters more. It's the simple things. If you just stop and grow a few roses, and when I'm working my garden, I see that that's what life's really about. It's the little things. Taking time to breathe. Ever heard that saying, take time and smell the roses? It's an actual true statement. Take time to smell the roses, because life isn't always going to be easy. Life's going to be messy. And if you guys are willing to tag along with my videos as I'm learning, I'm willing to show you every messy adventure I get into. That's just a little bit about me, and a little introductory about me. I own Dee's Farm Treats. It's a bakery I dreamed of my whole life. And I'm finally in a position where I can actually do it, and I'm working really hard at it. But my dad once told me, if you love what you do, it doesn't actually work. And I do love what I do. I love every smile on every face when they eat my bread or taste one of my cookies, or when I see people just truly enjoy themselves. I love helping people. Um, I love meeting people. I love making new friends and just experiencing this messy thing we call life. Anyhow, that was just a little bit about me. I live in a home. I have 4 dogs, but don't worry, my dogs never go in my kitchen. I have 4 pitties, Smokey and Nova Jean and Georgia Bean and Freya. And they are my amazing paw babies. I have grown children. I have grandchildren. And all along the way, I've managed to take this life a day at a time. And I'm still here. The people who really matter in my life are in my life. And those I've had to leave behind in the past because, life gets messy. There is drama in life, and you get to a point in your life where you just rather sit down, have a cup of coffee, and enjoy the peace than deal with the drama. And that's where I sit these days. I'm okay with being in my kitchen and baking bread and not talking to a single soul. I'm okay with playing ball with my dogs and getting out there and getting barefoot and stepping up into my raised garden beds and working with the earth. In fact, that's how I threw my back out last week. I was slinging 40 pounds of dirt in a garden trying to plant a 4-foot tall tomato bush, and ended up in bed for a week because I seized my back up. Wasn't the smartest thing. I had a friend come over and tell me, well, you could have asked for help. Well, I could have. But anybody who truly knows me knows I'm very hard-headed and stubborn. And I don't ask for help when I probably should. I really probably should. We have this festival next Saturday, and then we have another festival around Thanksgiving, and then the big German Christmas festival. It's a 2-day festival with Christmas trees and lights and demonstrations. And that's what I love doing. I love going and doing the festivals. I love opening my shop and delivering to people. I meet new people every day. And I think that's what I thrive on these days. I thrive on feeding people. I thrive on making people happy and smile and taking care of people. letting this big heart I have of mine actually do good instead of making me feel bad because I can't help enough people. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to say to people and how to talk to people, and this channel is really helping with that. Because for about 7 years now, I've lived in my shell, and I'm learning that I need to come out of my shell and enjoy life. That friend that told me that was very right, very, very right. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be savored and enjoyed and lived. And unless you live every day to the fullest, you're never going to know what's out there and the magic of it all out there. And my magic is creating things and making people happy. It makes me happy when other people are happy. But I think I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to make some cinnamon raisin bread that I've had fermenting in the fridge for about 24 hours now. I have 4 loaves of cinnamon raisin sourdough I've been fermenting. And then I'm going to make a wonderful friend of mine a pan of caramel rolls in the morning. Today was her birthday, and I'm very comfortable talking to her. It's like I haven't known her that long, but I feel like I've known her for years. And caramel rolls is something that's going to make her smile. I just want to make people smile. I know this video seems a little crazy, but somebody told me just to get on and introduce myself and do it. Well, it's taken me 2 weeks to work up the courage to just sit here in this recliner and have a conversation with YouTube and all you people out there. So like and subscribe to my channel. Some days it'll be very interesting. Some days it'll be messy, but it'll be real. And yes, before you even think about it, I can be very chatty. In fact, I probably talk way too much when you get to know me. But it's all honest and good. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. But I hope that you all like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope that I can help share and take a lot of the myths out of sourdoughs and canning, because it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. I have people that come over here that I can show how to make a loaf of sourdough bread in 5 minutes. Actually, the time I actually have my hands on the bread is probably less than 20 minutes. The rest of the time, it's waiting for my coils, and then it's fermenting it, and then it's putting it in the oven. And it is so healthy and good for you with its probiotics. I went to sourdough because I have a lot of gut issues. I have some autoimmune diseases, and I have a lot of digestion issues, and sourdough made it so I could eat bread. Sourdough is it's great for diabetics. I have a couple of friends who are diabetics, and one customer came up to me at the market, as a matter of fact, and told me that blueberry sourdough, is there any sugar in that? I'm like, no ma'am, I don't put sugar in my sourdough, for one. If I fill my sourdough with fresh fruit, it's filled with fruit. Fruit has sugar in it inherently. Blueberry sourdough is great for diabetics. It's kind of like having dessert with your bread. And she bought 2 loaves. I have another friend in Talladega. She has a pretty hard time controlling her blood sugar. Sourdough is one of the only things she can eat where it really doesn't affect it a whole lot. And now she's gotten quite good at making it. I mean, she's quite good at it. And it just started with a willingness to want to make things for herself. She just came down and visited, and I had the best time. The best time. And I gifted her a half a jar of my sourdough starter. Now, mind you, my sourdough starter has a twin. There's Big Mama, and she's in a 5-gallon glass jar that I go through a lot of sourdough. On a pretty cool day, I, no joke, can do 16 to 40 loaves. And then her little sister Bertha, because when Big Mama needs a break, that's what I named my 5-gallon jar. I have a 1-gallon jar named Bertha. And when I need to give Big Mama a break and get her all bubbly and happy again, I go to Bertha. So I never have to stop making sourdough. Of course, for me, most people tell you, making bread and working with dough is my relaxation. It's my serenity. When I need to think or I'm frustrated with the world, I will head towards flour and I will start making bread, or I will crochet. I have avidly crocheted for 46 years now. I had a friend that I once knew, and she taught me how to crochet. She was one of the best friends I ever had in this world. And I miss her every day. But she left me with that gift. She left anybody she ever taught with a gift. And she also had autoimmune, and she taught me how to face mine with courage. And to never let it get me down or consider it a handicap, because it's not. It's not a handicap. I choose every day whether I'm going to live in the misery of my autoimmune or I'm going to live life and make the best of my situation. I choose the latter. I choose to bake. I always wanted to have a bread shop. You know, I was one of those people when you're a kid that watched the cartoons and they had the bread baker and the candlestick maker. I wanted to be the bread baker. I'm finally getting to do that. And that is so cool. It really is so cool. I'd rather, bake bread, throw a ball with my dogs, and grow some amazing squash and zucchini and tomatoes. I am having a bumper crop of tomatoes this year, and I cannot wait to can tomatoes. I am going to make so much marinara to last me the whole year. You got to understand, I can so much that we turned a den into a pantry that we call the cantry. Because I believe that when times get tough, you can rely on yourself for that food. It's not in a fast food restaurant. Usually it's made by your own 2 hands. Of course, I had sensible parents that taught me that. I had parents, we were never rich. We always lived on our means, and there was nights there was beans and cornbread. My dad used to make this cake without any dairy in it, and his frosting was butter across it. A Depression era cake. There was always something. If I didn't like pinto beans when I was a kid. Since then, yes, I love beans. But I didn't when I was a kid. Well, I had a grandma. They wouldn't let me get up from the bar till I finished eating my beans. She mixed molasses in and told me to eat them. I love molasses. You just have to eat what's there, because not everybody has lots of money and lots of food. There are people out there that they just make do with what they have. My channel is going to be about making those recipes that make things stretch and make do with what you have. Anyway, not to go off on, see, I told you I talk a lot. So not to go off on one of my little tangents, I just wanted to let you guys in just a little bit and get to know me. Take the advice of my best friend. With that said, I'm going to be posting a video in a couple of days on how to do swamp soup. And I'm going to post my big batch brownies and my caramel rolls in the morning. So if you'd like to see those videos or learn how to make some of the things I've been making my whole life, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Give me a chance to be your new next friend. Until then, have a great night and happy weekend. Bye now.